way down to the beach last weekend.
Right.
So, Benny, great to have you back up north as always. And Jason, how are you doing on a Wednesday?
Doing good. It's the best exciting time of the year is these football division district races are coming down to the wire, and we got a great crowd.
And again, we're starting to get a little bit of that football weather as well today, getting a little bit chilly out there. It's that time of the year. So, guys, let's recap. And it all starts with some of the action that we had over the weekend. And let's start with our first game of last week. Mike and Jason, that was Tatnall at St. E's. Mike, talk a little bit about what you saw last Thursday night.
I didn't see any of it, but I know that Rashawn Lamont had another big game talk. He scored on an 80-yard run his first time.
Reports the next morning. What did you see of that matchup?
The Wi-Fi, the Buffalo Wild Wings Wi-Fi.
And we are back live here on Delaware Live Sports Weekly, back on a Wednesday here at our Christiana
Jason,
location.
as you were saying.
And as we were saying, we were recapping some of the action that took place over the past weekend. It all got started here on the network on Thursday night, Jason, with Tatnall and St. E's, a big matchup in Class 1A.
Yeah, I am at Class 1A. We say it all the time. Started in the Yahtzee Cup.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of upsets last weekend. Tackle was not one of them. They're going to hold. I think they'll hold on to their number one ranking after the performance they put up against St. E's. Lamont, he's the real deal. I mean, he's the real deal. Every time he touches the ball, you're just going and waiting for him to make a big play. And he made plenty of them in that game. And we thought Friday, this Saturday was going to be a big game, Tatnall and Wilmington Charter, and then Wilmington Charter lost on Saturday. Still a big game, and now if Tatnall wins, they clinch. If they lose, it will come down to the last week of the season. But Tatnall looks really good right now. Their only loss is to a friends team.
That's right.
And even that one was like 22-8. They were in it, whereas in years past they've been blown out in that type of game. So this Tatnall team is for real, and right now they're in the driver's seat in that 1A class.
In the last couple of years, having played St. Elizabeth's in the playoffs, St. E's knocked them out, and now get some revenge for the Tatnall Hornets there, at least in the regular season for Class 1A. Rashawn Lamont does it on both sides of the ball, defensively, offensively. That young man can do it all. So Tatnall, they're in a great spot right now, and again, a chance to lock things up this upcoming weekend. Now let's head over to Sussex Tech and Milford. Benny Mitchell on the call for that one. Recap a little bit of what took place last weekend.
Milford's peaking at the right time. They took that loss to Woodbridge 3 weeks ago. 2 big bounce-back games after that. They had the wing tee running like the wing tee should be run. Denaire Horsey and Charles Shorts, they're both going to go over 1,000 yards this season, and they might do it this week in Week 9. That's 2 guys on the same team going over 1,000 in Week 9. And now they got Jack Hudson. He's able to throw the ball a little bit. I think he completed like 8 passes. One of them was a 20-some yard touchdown pass. So the game. Sussex Tech came right out and ran the first play, 69 yards for a touchdown. And the Milford fans were like, uh-oh. And then it was all Milford. It was like they just let the air out of Sussex Tech tires, and it was all Milford after that. Second game on Saturday, Laurel-Delmar, big rivalry, homecoming game for Laurel. Same thing. Delmar comes out, drives the ball right down the field, scores. And you think you just think Laurel's, the way their season's been going, you probably just think they're done. But that was about all the offense for Delmar. That Laurel defense shut them down, and then Xavier Limehouse had it. We'll talk about him later tonight. Right. Xavier Limehouse, he's the guy that they give the ball to every once in a while to keep you honest, and they put him in the deep back in the Maryland eye, and he went after 170-some yards, 3 touchdowns. He was the man Saturday afternoon, and that keeps both Milford and Laurel on track. I'm talking to Jed Bell. He says he wants to go 8-2. He thinks he needs to go 8-2. So Laurel they're probably the only Division AA team that can make it at 6-4.
Yeah.
They're going to be pulling like 15 bonus points because that's why you play tough schedules.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule for sure. And we want to say again, we had Milford on the show last weekend leading up to that one. And a special thanks to Coach and the guys for coming out, and then a great performance for them on over the weekend in that one as well. So then also coming up, guys, are having over the weekend Sussex Central and Dover. No Glenn Frazier here with us today, but anyone like to talk a little bit about that matchup between Sussex Central and Dover?
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
I haven't watched, but we know it's clear that Dover, with those guys who were hurt in that car accident, missed their kicker. You know, they kick. Yeah, it's the Central defense.
Yeah.
Let's give credit to the Central defense, but Dover they were missing a player, and Kilby's still out. But hey, you got to give credit to your alma mater, Benny.
That's
they came out
right.
and did the job, and you know they still have a lot of talent on that Dover team, and Central just shut them down. They did
Well,
a
the
great
thing with
job.
Central is they had to replace all 11 players on offense, but they didn't on defense. And that defense showed up, you know, and that's what Sussex. Look at the years they won the state title. They didn't run the table. They showed up at the end. And here we are coming near the end, and Sussex Central, they're starting to show up. Of course, they run that wing tee as good as anybody, too.
And they're in the driver's seat
Right.
in Class
Yeah,
3A.
they win Friday night. They're the District 2 champs.
And Sussex Central putting together a great season. You can check out that article, the game article from last weekend on DelawareLiveSports.com. So now, guys, let's talk a little bit as a whole about some things that happened over the weekend. What result maybe surprised you the most from
All
some
of
of the
them.
matchups? I know it was a big one. I know the group chat was buzzing. The group chat was buzzing over the
It
weekend.
was upset city last week in high school sports, and that's why we play the games, right?
Right.
You
I mean,
know,
you-
that's why we play the games.
Yeah, we had a chance to watch Sally's in Middletown, and Slay's Anthem looked really good, especially on defense. They scored the last 30 points of that game, and then Jay was back at Abyssinia the next night, and Archmere pulled the upset on Howard. So, you know, it's
almost
making it a lot of fun for people.
It's almost like
us.
nobody wants to win it.
That's true.
You know, you got Wild Dover's getting upset by Sussex Central. You got Smyrna getting upset by Cape and Lopin. You know, and that as we were packing up to leave, I looked out and it was a full moon. And so this is starting to explain some things right here.
It was a very interesting weekend for sure. Some crazy results, guys. And with that, we're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Delaware Military Academy's football program right here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Christiana, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now
Your
there's
home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to DLS Weekly, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Christiana, Nick Alessandrini, now have the privilege of being joined by the Delaware Military Academy Seahawks, Coach Matt Carey and his squad. Coach, I really appreciate you guys for taking the time to join us on a Wednesday. You guys want to introduce yourselves, and we'll dive right in.
Edward Evans, senior running back and linebacker, number 8.
Malcolm Roy, senior, number 1, cornerback and wide receiver.
Keanu Negris, junior, left tackle, defensive tackle, number 77.
Odell Teal, sophomore, quarterback, defensive end, number 2.
All right, guys, really appreciate you again for taking the time to join me. And now we'll always start off with an easy one here for you. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings. Sure, you guys maybe have put some orders in for some food here. What's your go-to menu order or favorite food item here at Buffalo Wild Wings? Coach, we'll start with you.
I'll go with the Asian Zing Boneless.
Asian Zing Boneless. There we go. Way to start us off.
I'll go with the Asian Zing as well and the barbecue.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the teriyaki.
There we go.
I say the honey barbecue wings for sure.
Nice variety so far.
Same thing, the honey barbecue wings.
All right, so there we go. There you have it. That's how the DMA Seahawks eat here at Buffalo Wild Wings. So, guys, really appreciate you taking the time to sit with me and talk you guys about your season here, 4-4 as we take a look at it. But 2 of those losses coming to some tough Class 3A opponents in Sally's and Sussex Central. Just, Coach, talk a little about your season so far and what you've seen out of your guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very proud of our team so far this year. You know, the Sally's and Sussex Central game proved early on that we can really play with anybody in the state. That's how we feel. We have a good football team. You know, it's a new staff coming together. So it's been a learning process for the staff, the players. The players have done a great job competing at a high level. So, you know, we're just trying to finish strong and make a run, try to qualify for the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Now over to you. What is it, or what has really stood out about your season so far here, guys?
Really stood out as I feel like, you know, our new coaching staff, they really helped us a lot during this time where we transitioned from new coaches. And as a senior of 4 years at DMA, I went through three different coaching staffs, and, you know, I feel like, you know, this coaching staff has really, like, helped us contribute just, you know, like players off the field as well, like not like on the field and off the field, you know, just great overall, great coaches. And we got great teammates around me, great environment, and I feel like, you know, this program is going to get going real soon.
Guys, Malcolm?
I just feel like we're a bit of more of a brotherhood this year. Like, I know everybody has my back when I'm on the field, all 10 guys. So we really just piggyback on that and just having a great week of practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like Malcolm said, like we're more of a brotherhood this year. I feel like we're a lot closer than we have been in past years. You know, like everybody's been together for the last 2-3 years. Even the freshmen are kind of getting the hang of things now, and I'm just proud. I'm proud of this team so far this year.
Yeah, same thing, honestly. Just like the camaraderie and how we've been able to adapt to a new coaching staff so quickly and just have that chemistry on the field.
And, guys, just some tough ones there against Archmere and Red Lion. Those 2 losses combined just by 3 points. What did you guys maybe take from some of those matchups, and what did you learn from those 2 really close battles there?
You know, one thing that we learned from those, I mean, first, you're right, those 2 losses hurt. You lose 2 close games by a total of 3 points.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're 2 or 3 plays away from things going your way and feeling a lot better about those 2 games. But one thing we learned was that, you know, the importance of special teams, the importance of converting after the touchdown, and that's really been a point of emphasis. And, you know, whether it be the field goal try, the extra point try, or the 2-point conversion, because in both of those games it came down to, you know, conversions and who made those conversions and who didn't. And so that's been a point of emphasis since losing those games in that fashion. and we hope not to be in that situation again.
Yeah, guys, like you said, that's tough. Both of those losses by combined just 3 points, as Coach mentioned. Was that kind of the same thing for you guys? Is that what you learned in those matchups, or what else can you take away from those two really tough games there?
I like to say the same thing as my coach. Just to eliminate penalties, make sure we convert on key third downs, and just keep the ball moving, and that's all I got to say.
Just to piggyback off what Ed said, just converting on those third downs and just setting us up to progress our drives and just scoring a ball. Because I feel like those early 2 losses going to come back to us. Like, we're going to remember that closer to the playoffs. So just to have just some full fuel to the fire.
I was to say, nice snag there. Yeah.
Yeah, to go off of Malcolm and stuff, we can't, we were up in both those games at one point. It was, I think, 7-0 against Archmere, and then 12 or 13-0 at halftime against Redline, then just kind of coming back. We need to just keep, full head of steam. We can't just slow down like that.
I really just felt like we got to capitalize off of all opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. Like turnovers, had a few times we didn't capitalize during that Archmere game. Came back to bite us in the end. So just capitalizing off of all opportunities and getting the ball in the end zone.
And Coach, since those 2 losses, they've able to stack up now a couple wins. Your team's right back on track. Just talk a little bit about what you've seen out of your guys as of late, racking up a couple of those wins now and carrying that momentum into this weekend.
I wanted our guys to not lose track of the fact that we're a good football team. You lose 4 games, and that you could have some doubt to creep in, and I didn't want that to happen. The 4 teams that we lost to are all right now playoff eligible. They're playing good football. We're playing good football. And so, our expectations are that we're going to play well when we take the field. And I expect, we did that the last 2 weeks, and I expect us to do it again for the next 2 weeks. We also, number 8 sitting here next to me, didn't play the second half of Archmere, didn't play Red Line. He's back healthy again, and, that helps a lot. And so, we're healthy and ready to play well.
Yeah, and guys, over to you. What has been working for you? I asked you what stood out in some of those losses, but what stood out now in some of these wins since you guys have been able to get back on track?
I just think we've been playing all 4 quarters. Didn't take our foot off our opponent's neck. So just playing all 4 quarters and just building our bond defensively and offensively. Just trying to stay together for all 4 quarters and come out with the victory at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just our offense clicking, and when our offense starts clicking, our defense starts playing even better than it has now, especially against Newark and stuff, who has marquees like him being their quarterback and stuff. It's just us clicking on offense against Newark just clicked really well with our defense.
Yeah, just playing all 4 quarters, executing for all 4 quarters, executing at a high level, just keeping our foot on the gas the whole time, like Mark said.
And, Coach, now let's talk a little bit about this upcoming matchup this weekend, taking on the undefeated Caravel Buccaneers. What do you know about Caravel, and what challenges do they present for you guys this coming Friday night?
Well, we know that they're a good football team. We know that it's going to take our best. We can't beat ourselves against a great football team. So, we know that they got a very strong running game, 2 very good backs, explosive receivers, explosive returner. So it's really going to take all 3 phases, and it's going to take mistake-free football, execution. We talk about execution a lot, and I feel like if we execute and we play our best, anything can happen on Friday night for sure.
Absolutely. And now, guys, over to you. What do you know about the Caravel Buccaneers, and what do you guys have to do to come out with that victory on Friday night?
We know that they're a good, strong, disciplined team, but I feel like if, as our squad, we stay disciplined, we have no mistakes, we come out there and just play our hardest, play 100%, 11 on 11, hat to hat, foot on neck, we're going to come out victorious.
There you go. That's a nice pregame speech right there already on a Wednesday. Anybody else, Malcolm?
Yes, sir. I just feel like a great week of practice. Like a few of my matchups with Drew Duncan, like I've been going hard in practice, and my scout team receiver, Masai Manor, has been helping me a lot getting ready for those key matchups. So I look forward to the one this Friday.
Going to be a fun one.
Yeah, practice is just the biggest thing right now. I feel like our scout guys are really good. Like they're able to copy Caravel's offense and their defense as well. So I like seeing like what I'm able to match up with.
Yeah, we just got to play our best if we want to come out with a victory against a good team like that. And just being perfect all week in everything that you do. Just perfect in practice, perfect in school, perfect in everything. Be perfect on Friday, come out with a win.
All right, so who's the best salesman over here out of you guys? We're going to have you make a pitch now to some of your classmates, getting them to come out to the game on Friday night and cheer you guys on, trying to kind of bring that energy on the road. So who's it going to be? Make the pitch right there. There's your camera right here, the one all the way on the right here. Take a look in there. Who wants to give it a try? And let's get some of your classmates and fans out to this game on Friday night.
Anchor down. Go Seahawks.
Yeah. There you have it. See you guys Friday night. And before we let you go here, guys, thanks for joining us again. You might know this one's coming here. It's how we like to close off every interview. Big game with Caravel on Friday night. You're in the locker room making your way down to the field for warm-ups. What song do you have in your headphones? What song do you got that you're listening to that's getting you ready to go, ready for kickoff on Friday night, expecting a big performance here against Caravel? Coach, we'll start with you. What's your go-to song that's going to get you ready, your warm-up song, if you will?
It's got to be something DMX.
DMX, there you go. That's a good one. There we go, guys.
All the way turned up by Soulja Boy.
We not into that by El Shadow.
So I'm gonna be a little weird with it. I like to have a calm mind, so I go with like old 60s, 70s music.
There you go. That's our first 60s, 70s of the year. There we go.
First Week Out by J. Breezy.
All right, there we go. That's how DMA gets ready for some action on Friday nights. Guys, really appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on Friday night. Good luck in the matchup against Caravel.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That'll do it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Brandywine is going to be joining us right here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be right back.
High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004.
Signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life. Wraps.
Where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community.
All right, there we go. And with that, we are back here live on DLS Weekly. Nick Alessandri now joined by Mike Lang.
It's a first for us, Nick.
That is. How about that? Maybe the best intro we've had for the year so far.
Coach Mays' idea, and he said the cheerleaders had to be here, and I said, that's a great idea, and I'm so glad that they came.
And with that, Coach Mays, we appreciate you guys joining us. I'm here with Coach Mays of the Brandywine football program. And, Coach, it's a privilege and honor to have you and your guys here on a Wednesday at Buffalo Wild Wings. If we just want to go through here first, introduce ourselves, name, position, grade, whatever you're feeling, and then we'll dive right in.
My name is Chris Dunn-Wright. I'm a senior at Brandywine High School.
My name is Dom Antonelli. I'm center and linebacker for Brandywine.
My name is Matt Barton. I'm a linebacker from Brandywine, senior.
My name is Albert. I play guard, D-tackle, or DN for Brandywine.
My name is Kaiser Williams. I'm a wide receiver, and I'm in 11th grade.
Can you introduce everybody? Sure.
My name is Jalen Walker. I'm a senior for Brandywine High School. I'm a DN.
Anthony Drummond, wide receiver, DB, junior.
All right, we appreciate you guys. We know how busy your week is, so we appreciate you joining us here on a Wednesday at our Buffalo Wild Wings Christiana location. And as always, Coach, we're going to start with some of the heavy-hitting questions. It all begins with your go-to menu or food item order here at Buffalo Wild Wings. You guys are here hanging out. What did you put in? What are you eating here tonight, guys, from Buffalo Wild Wings? Coach, we're going to start with you. What's your go-to?
Definitely had to get the wings and Nashville Hot.
Nashville Hot. There you go. Got the hat on, ready to go.
Always.
Coach.
I got to go boneless honey barbecue all the way.
That's why I like Kristen a whole lot.
I have to go bone-in honey barbecue.
There you go.
Okay, back-to-back honey barbecue.
I'm going to go boneless garlic parm.
Garlic parm. There we go. Back on track.
Keeping it simple. I'm just getting buffalo wings.
The best is obviously boneless Asian zing.
Third Asian zing, yeah.
Straight buffalo.
Seasoner, the dry rub. Yeah, I'm with you. That's my go-to.
The home sampler.
Yep, that's the home sampler. That's our first sampler of the year. But you're absolutely right. That's a good one as well. We've got some good answers here so far, and guys, this one's a little off script. I'm going to say I like the jerseys you guys are sporting today. Run me through some of the history of that, Coach. When did you guys get these going?
So we kind of developed a little partnership with the Army National Guard. I do a lot with my class, and some of their reps came out, and we just been working on this thing over time. And this year they outfitted us in this awesome uniforms.
Yeah.
And then one of the awesome things that they did was we had a helicopter land at the game, and then it took off right before kickoff. So we had a Black Hawk at the game.
See, and that was off script. We didn't even know that coming into the show tonight. So that's awesome. I love those jersey guys. So those are cool. And let's dive right in here now. Talk a little bit about the season. 5-3. 2 of those losses though to Laurel and Friends. And again, both of those teams held up state championship trophies last season. So, Coach, kind of walk us through what you've seen out of your guys so far this year and just a little bit of summary of your guys' season.
That first game was kind of like a wake-up call for us. Laurel, again, defending 2-time state champs. Played them well. We were up. But we were young, and we had to learn how to finish a game. And, we believe in playing tough competition. We played Friends after that. Took them to the wire. We were never losing until the end. And Friends is a great ball club. Love their coaches. And to go that far with them, we knew that we had something special. I think, at least in my opinion. So.
Yeah, guys. Now over to you. What has really stood out about your season so far?
Say it again. What stood out about your season so far?
What stood out about this season? Winning. And just being there with my team. And being able to win games, that's what stood out.
Yeah, great start so far.
What was big this year was focus. I saw difference between last year and this year was a lot more focus, and I could see it just through film and on the practice field, a lot more focus throughout the whole group.
You get one more here.
Yeah, so for us, I think it was honestly drive. It was drive with everyone's team. We were all on the same page. It seemed like everyone wanted the same goal for once from our team. It just seemed like everyone was on the same page for once.
Yeah, it's definitely showing so far this season.
All right, Coach, I know when we were emailing back and forth, you're very specific. And your mission is not done. This is, even though you're off to the great start, you have it in wins over Indian River and Seaford this year, and stumbled last week at First State. Just talk about the maturity you've seen as your team's gone along, and to get wins over teams like Indian River and Seaford, what the growth has been like at Brandywine.
Yeah, it's one thing, again, like coming off the games we had, we learned it was a total team game. In the beginning, we were, kind of struggling to find that. And by the time we got to Indian River, I think we really started to come on, in the beginning. Drummond, he was making a lot of plays for us. But when we got to Indian River, Kassir started making some plays for us. And we got a lot of playmakers, and we were just starting to get that chemistry that we needed. But I'm sure some of the linemen may be able to say something a little different about it. But
I noticed in that Indian River game, I watched some of it online. We actually got you guys into our top plays that week.
Yeah.
That long pass Krisden to Kassir. You guys seem to have a pretty special connection. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it all starts in practice. Me and Kassir have been together since my sophomore year, since he was a freshman. So, just that connection, working on it in practice and putting the work in.
Me and Chris, we've been going back and forth since freshman and his sophomore year. So I had to guard him a lot. He taught me a lot. And then for the past season, we just been working together. Me, wide receiver, him a QB. And then, yeah.
I've been watching that young man play basketball for Brandywine for a couple of years, and now he's doing it on the football field too, Nick.
That's right. They're going to want to keep the fall extended for as long as possible. That's, right, yeah. That's what they're thinking. Coach Mike mentioned the game against First State Military last weekend. What have you maybe taken away from that game as you look ahead to the rest of the season?
Yeah, First State, we'll give a shout-out first. Great program. We were coming off of a Seaford game, tough Seaford game. We were down a couple players going into First State, and, it was tough to win, try to get the win without them. But, one thing I can say is the team itself has learned the value of, again, team football and how we need everybody to win the game. But, it was tough because, we really wanted to solidify, our position in the playoffs. But, sometimes you learn the best lessons from a loss. So,
guys, over to you. Anything that you guys take away from that game as you go forward?
So, going into that game, like Coach May said, we was missing a few of our players, made mistakes, but it's a lesson. Everything's a lesson. We got to learn. We're going to bounce back these next two games. We're going to come ready. What was that?
Absolutely.
Coach, it seems like the Brandywine School District's got those buses running for you. Another trip down south. You've been to Indian River this year. Yeah. Your First State last week. You got Polytech this week, so another ride for you guys. What do you know about Polytech? They're 7-1. They're having a great year. And what do you need to do against Polytech?
Look, Poly's playing great. They're playing great football right now. Hats off to those guys for coming together and turning their program around. But I think that we've got what it takes to win, not just this game, but I think we got what it takes to win it all. But, we've got to put it all together. But, yeah, I believe that we have what it takes as a program all around.
Does anybody know something about Polytech or what you guys got to do? He's shaking our head over there.
Yeah, what's your keys to victory? What do you guys need to see out of each other on Friday night to get this W?
We got to start early. We just got to start off the game early. It starts from the bus ride. It starts as soon as we get to the school. It don't start once we hit the field. It starts the bus ride, when we stretching, all that, warm-ups, all that. It starts early.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else?
What was the question again? I didn't hear it.
So what do you need to do against Poly? What do you know about Polytech, or what do you need to do to come away with a win on Friday?
Your keys to victory.
It's simple. It starts at practice. We got to come every day, ready to work, willing to get better, learning, and doing everything we need to do. If we do that, come to the game 100%, we'll be good. It's as simple as that.
Anybody else?
All right, hey Coach, I'm just curious. This is not on the script. I noticed when I was looking at your coaching staff online that you have on your staff a life coach. Could you just talk about what that person does and how you came up with that position?
Yeah. So interesting enough, I'll say the timing of it. So the life coach was my father, Warren Mays. So unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
But we didn't take it down. We kept it up. And what the life coach does is just try to inspire the kids if they're having a bad day. That's somebody you can come and talk to, kind of like, off script. Coach doesn't say anything. So he was a big help to us on the field. So we haven't quite replaced that yet. I picked up some of the slack. I tried to do my best to make sure my guys are ready to play. And, not only just let them know that, I'm here to be your football coach, but at the end of the day, I'm here to coach you in life. And that's what we just try to do at Brandywine Football.
I'm sorry to hear about your dad.
Oh, it's all good.
That's awesome that you like
very well said. Yeah, and every team, needs a life coach like that for sure. So that's a fantastic thing. And again,
now I'm rooting extra hard for Brandywine, Nick.
Again, they're off to a great start as well. So, guys, and as we look ahead now to Friday night against Polytech, we're going to close with our final question here. You might have heard it before. You're either heading down to Polytech on the bus, you're in the locker room, you're heading down to the field, you're warming up. What is your go-to song? What do you listen to? What you got blasting in the headphones as you're getting ready to take on the Polytech Panthers on Friday night? Coach, you're not off the hook either. We're going to you too. Coach, let's start with you. Actually, Coach Mays. What's your go-to song? What gets you ready to go for a night or Friday Night Lights?
I mean, when I was my playing days, it definitely would have been some sort of Southern rap group back in my day. But now, most of the time, if they're playing something cool, it's cool for me. I'm even keel, so it varies.
It varies. There you go, guys. Let's head around the horn here. Want to start down this way? Oh, really? Y'all got one song together?
Yeah,
huh? That'd be the first time I think we've had this unity up here on a Wednesday. That's what we like to hear. Yeah, let's hear it. What gets Brandywine going on a Friday?
We all turn up to some Rod Wave, some Turks and Caicos, girls all over the world.
There you go. Rod Wave. That's Brandywine's song and music, I guess, artist of choice. There we go. I like to hear that.
Sharp. They're playing
That's
well,
right. They're all on the same
music,
page. That's right. They're all synced up here, Coach. Again, really appreciate you joining us here on a Wednesday night. Any closing words for your fans out there, your classmates? What's going to make a pitch to get them to come out to the game on Friday night? I know it's a long trip, but do your best sales pitch to everyone out there.
The job is not finished.
There you go. Keep it simple.
We need everyone to be there. We need everyone's help.
That's right.
It's not only a team sport, but it involves the fans too. The fans play just as big as a role.
Yeah, come support in any way you can, whether that's watching the game or watching it like live stream, whichever you can.
Come support the Bulldogs. Go all the way.
There we go, guys.
Polly, be ready.
We taking it all the way home.
There you go. Have it. Coach Mays and Brandywine, guys, really appreciate you. Thank you so much, as well as the cheerleaders. Thank you guys as well. They got us going with the intro back into the show tonight. So that'll do it here for this segment. We're going to take one more break. We're going to come back. We're going to get you our Super 7s, get a little football talk in, then we're going to wrap things up here from Buffalo Wild Wings, Christiana. Again, one more time for Brandywine, guys. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere just yet. Nick, get the cheerleader.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
DCHS.
How does the Asian go?
DMA Caravel and Benny's got Laurel.
That's live television, everyone. Nick Alessandrini, Mike Lang, Benny Mitchell, and Jason Winchell just trying to clear out some of the kinks here on a Wednesday from Buffalo Wild Wings Christiana. Special thanks to Brandywine and DMA for joining us here up at on the desk. Phenomenal interviews with both coaches and players, and both of them got some big games coming up this Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. Some of them were playing for district titles. Brandywine, Polytech, that could be for the District 2 title, depending on how other results turn up. But yeah, a lot of big games coming up this week. A lot of teams can clinch it. If you win those district titles, you're guaranteed in 1A and 3A a top 2 seed, and in 2A a top 3 seed.
I think in DMA they're playing for their playoff life right now.
Exactly right.
And I don't know who's making the trip up and back more, Benny Mitchell or Brandywine playing football. Man, what a schedule. They got to head back down south to take on Polytech. So another long trek for them coming up this weekend.
Yeah, the transportation budget in my school district is going up.
Well, guys, now let's talk a little bit about what's coming up this weekend for us and talk about some of these matchups here that we are going to be putting out to the public on our channel this weekend. Benny Mitchell, let's start with you here. Just talk a little about what you're going to be and where you will be, I guess. Where will Benny Mitchell be this weekend?
I'm going to be back in western Sussex County for Laurel Lake Forest. I tell you what, when I picked this game in August, I thought it was going to be for the AA District 3 Championship. Who saw Woodbridge and Milford's turnaround coming this year? Now this game, I think Lake Forest is out. I don't see them getting in at 5-5.
That's tough. They're
going to be close, but I just don't think they're going to be able to scratch up enough numbers. Laurel, if they can get to 6-4, I think they're in. So this is a big game, and now Lake Forest can relax and play spoiler the next 2 weeks. They could knock out Laurel and knock out Milford back-to-back weeks. So it should be an exciting game. And this Lake Forest team, I mean, they're on like quarterback number 5.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for them.
But they're in every game. The only problem is that they're giving up an early lead and clawing back. And so now maybe this week they turn around. But I talked to Joey Jones after the Delmar game. He says, look, they can lose as many quarterbacks as they want. They got athletes that can play. And all they need is a guy that can get those guys the ball.
Yes, they can. Great skill position players over there at Lake Forest. Very dangerous with the ball in their hands. Jason, where are you going to be, or where will the crew be, I guess I should say? You, the crew, everybody up north. Where are you going to be this week?
DMA Caravel. That's a big game coming up this weekend. As we'll talk about it earlier, right now DMA outside looking in. They might be playing for their playoff lives. Caravel, on the other hand, they're in the driver's seat in that District 1. Driver's seat in 2A to be that top seed. They're playing really well right now. They're home Friday night, but it's a big game, and it has that big game feel to it this Friday night.
And it's going to be a packed house on Friday night as we gear up for that one. And Mike, you're not Glenn Frazier, but where is Glenn Frazier going to be this weekend?
There's only one Glenn Frazier, and I'm not. Glenn will be at the old Wesley College Stadium.
Grass field, yeah.
First State Military at Early College High School, the Hornets, and that was the late edition. And I think it was a great decision to switch to that game. So he'll be down in downtown Dover, watching the Bulldogs and the Hornets. Not the Brandywine Bulldogs, the First State Military Bulldogs, coming off that big win last week over Brandywine. So that's where Glenn and I believe Nick or Pat will be.
That's going to be a fun weekend for us. Now, guys, let's answer some questions and have a little football talk here on a Wednesday evening. Some upsets that we already talked about last week. Benny mentioned it, maybe a full moon with some of these games and some of these outcomes. Do some of these upsets, if at all, change some of the seedings as we head into a new week?
Definitely in 3A. Sussex Central was looking like a middle-of-the-pack team. Try to survive and get the 5 or the 6 seed. They win Friday night. They're the 2 seed. So that changes. It's the same exact thing that happened last year, but it was District 1. Appa was the surprise winner, threw off the brackets, and they went back to it. Maybe they thought it wasn't going to happen again, or maybe they thought it was okay.
Jason, now I'll come to you for this one. Can anyone wrap up district titles this week? We talked about a few already, and maybe lock up some of these top seeds.
Well, yeah, like Benny said, a Central win over Cesar Rodney. They clinched District 2 and 3A. A Sally's win over Hodson, and they clinched District 1 3A, and probably the overall top seed 3A. Then in the other, 2A, I think Woodbridge win, and I believe a Delaware loss.
Gives them the title, yep.
And they would get it. District 1 is probably going to come down to Redline, Caravel next week if they both win. And then 2A is definitely coming down to the last week because you got Archmere, who was like a 8 seed right now if the playoff starts today. They're in the driver's seat to win that district in the top 3 seeds. So it just tells you. And
it may be the only district we get a tie in.
Yes.
If Wilmington Friends wins, we got a 3-way tie for the district championship. So
there's that parity that we've been talking about, and last year we saw it in Class 2 especially. Class 3A was a little top-heavy, same thing with Class 1A with St. E's and Laurel. That's all 3 classes this year are all pretty evenly matched. That's going to be fun as we are just around the corner from playoff time, and with that being said, let's kind of take a look at some potential playoff implications here, guys. Jason, he did a list for the 3 classes with the last 2 teams that are currently in and the first 2 teams that would be out. So, guys, we're going to start here, and of those 4 teams in 3A, that's where we'll start here. Jason, which 2 teams do you see making the tournament?
I think Appo is going to be in no matter what. I think they have enough points. I'd probably lean Smyrna just because of the remaining schedule. St. Mark's, who's currently in, finishes with Middletown and Sally's. So, yes, there's bonus points there. But Smyrna finishes with St. George's and Sussex Central. And Betty was saying if Central wins that this week and they're the 2 seed, what does that game entail the last week? It'll be interesting to see, but right now I'd probably lean Smyrna over St. Mark's. But it depends on, I think it could come down to that week 10 where, and bonus points, who's going to get what bonus point wise.
And St. Mark's would then win over William Penn this past weekend. So as we talked about, 2 teams that Jason's saying in 3A that would be the 2 in would be Appo and Smyrna, and then those first 2 teams out in Class 3A might be St. Mark's and William Penn as it stands today. So there's a little bit of outlook on Class 3A. Mike, let's take a look here at Class 2A. Let's take what would be the first 2 teams that would get in if it were to end today.
Well, I think Archmere's on the right. They're trending in the right direction. They've won 3 straight. They have I think Odessa this Saturday, and then they finish with Friends. That's a tough one, but I'd probably lean Archmere. I think they'll be favored against Odessa at home. That Friends game is going to be a tough one, but they just beat Howard last week, and they've been playing much better. They used 3 quarterbacks last Saturday, so I don't know how Miles Kempsky's been feeling this week, but I think Archmere's probably leaning in the right direction. I don't know if DMA, if they could upset Caravel this week, that would really go a long way toward helping them. But it's going to be tough, I think, for DMA and Delmar to sneak in there.
Yep, so for Mike saying Class 2A, Laurel and Archmere would be the last 2 teams in. The first 2 out, as it stands right now, would be DMA and Delmar. And then, Benny, let's take a look here at Class 1A. What's that outlook looking like? What might be those 2 teams that would get in today if it ended?
I'd be Seaford and St. Elizabeth. And I tell you what, Seaford's going to be they've lost some games, but they're losing 1-point games to some of the top teams in the state. What a story that is. Everybody knows how much they lost, either by graduation or just kind of left at school, and they're still in the hunt and still in the top 7 rankings. So, what a story Seaford is, and we'll see how that finishes out. And then Dickinson, Conrad. Who would have thought beginning of the year we'd be talking about Dickinson?
Yeah,
a
really.
team that has struggled just to keep the program afloat, but they have a good shot at, they're on the bubble.
Yeah,
but if things bounce their way.
Don't they finish with St. E's next week too?
I believe they do. Yeah.
So that could be for that final spot. You never know.
So in last 2 teams in, Seaford, St. E's, and the first 2 teams out if it ended today in Class 1A, Dickinson and Conrad. But both those teams with great seasons so far as well in Class 1A. We're going to stay right here and keep things rolling at Buffalo Wild Wings Christiana, talk about some of our Super 7s guys. And it starts, and we will start with Class 1A for our Super 7s. And you just talked about the team, Benny. That's what kicks us off here. Seaford coming in at 7, Charter 6, Brandywine 5, followed by First State Military up to that 4th spot after the big win last week. Polytech 3, they've won 5 in a row. Indian River, another team, Benny, that you've talked about, that's looked very strong this year. And then Tatnall coming off that win here on Delaware Live Sports last Thursday over St. E's. They've got that top spot, guys.
Indian River's second time at 2. They were at 2, got beat, dropped down, and now they're back up in there. This could all change Sunday. The way 1A plays, it could all be upside down come Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see if we have another full moon on Friday night coming up this week. And now let's take a look at Class 2A. Getting us started at number 7 is the Archmere Hawks, really playing good football lately as Coach John Balase's squad. And then coming in at 6, how about Milford? We talked about the job that is being done down there. Had the Bucks on the show last Wednesday. They're up there at number 6. Woodbridge back in the top 5 at number 5. Defending Class 2A champs, Wilmington Friends, the Quakers, at number 4. Red Lion, they dropped down the rankings. They've worked their way back up as well. Here they are sitting at number 3. Howard at number 2, a tough one for them over the weekend. And then still at the top of the list and undefeated, the Caravel Buccaneers.
They're the only undefeated team, I believe, left in the state.
And we'll have them in action on Friday night. But, Jason, what stands out in Class 2A?
I just think that, after Caravel, it's interesting. You got Howard, who lost last week, stays in the number 2 spot ahead of Red Lion and Friends, who Howard beat. And then a team like Archmere, who's started out 1-3 at one point. They're up there at 7 now with wins over DMA, Howard, and they finished with Friends. So just goes to show you it's another one. I'd say Caravel's probably the head of the class, but the rest are all throwing the Yahtzee Cup from 2 through 7.
It's going to be a fun conclusion in all 3 classes. And now let's take a look at Class 3A and getting started at number 7. The Vikings from Cape Henlopen have been playing really good football as of late. It's Cape Appoquinimink coming in at number 6. They've been battling, even dealing with some of those injuries that they've had to deal with so far this year. Hodson Silver Eagles, what a comeback here for Hodson as they are now in the top 5. Dover at 4. Sussex Central, we'll talk about them and the big game for them this weekend. And then Middletown at 2. And how about Salesianum getting our top spot this week in Class 3A, coming off a big win for those guys.
Salesianum has just hung around the rankings and hung around. And, the right games came up, and they've won the games they've had to win. That loss to Dover seems insignificant now back in September.
Yeah, And shout out to Coach Deladon in his first season over there at Salesianum, doing some big things there. And now let's take a look at the entire landscape as a whole here, guys. What game intrigues you the most coming up this weekend? Who am I going to put on the spot first? Mike Lang, what about you?
I'm going to go to St. George's, but not for St. George's. It's going to be Hodgson and Salesianum. Sal's were in this position last year at home against Zappo. They could have won that district title, and they didn't. They ended up on the road for their one playoff game at Middletown. It didn't go well. They win Saturday against Hodgson. They win the district, and they probably get the top overall seed. But Hodgson is just a team I really like. They're big, they're explosive, they're experienced, and Dave Collins has them. He's doing a great job over there. I think they were 2-8 last year, so it's been good to see the Hodgson comeback story this year. So that's the one I'm looking forward to.
Benny, over to you. What matchup are you excited for?
I would probably take my ticket and go to Polytech Brandywine up in Woodside. Potentially for a district title. Polytech wins it, they win it. This on the pick show coming up. I'm coming up tomorrow morning. Trey said on there, this will be the first time Polytech's football's won a championship of any kind. They've been a team, never been in the playoffs, and they were stuck in that Henlopen North for all those years. And now they get a chance, they build their program up, they might be walking away with a title.
How about that? That would be something there. And a great season for Polytech. 5 straight looking to keep that rolling. We just had Brandywine on. They're ready for it. It's going to be a heck of a matchup on Friday night. Jason, where do you got your eyes set this weekend?
All right. Well, since they both took my my potential games, I'm going to go down south. I'm going to head to Cape Henlopen. They host Dover this weekend.
No, they're at Dover. At Dover. So you save some miles.
Oh, there you go. I'll save some driving distance. But, yeah, Cape Henlopen coming off the win against Smyrna at home, and they looked really good doing it. And they got James, who can control the ground game.
Oh, yeah.
If they can control clock against Dover, that would be an interesting game. Dover coming off the first loss to Central. Now they're facing a Cape team, and seeding could be determined in that game. Even if Central wins that thing, where is Dover and Cape going to fall in those seedings? That game has a lot of potential to change that.
Now there's some good matchups coming up this weekend. And with that being said, let's take a look now at our local college news and notes. And it starts with someone that I had the chance to call a few of his soccer games at Indian River, and that is Jordan Ilian. He's now at South Carolina in the SEC doing big things. 2 goals and assists versus Coastal in that game. He had the game winner as well. 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. I saw him do some incredible things on the pitch for Indian River back when he was in high school, and he's continued that right over down to South Carolina. So congratulations to Jordan Ilian, and keep it up here representing the 302. And then we're going to head over to Woodbridge and the Gulf Coast with top performer number 2, Benny.
Yeah, Wyatt Wright, if you guys might remember him, is past few years one of the best linebackers I've seen, could cover from side to side. He's now at Gulf Coast Community College, leads the team with 65 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, currently has 5 FBS offers. Southern Miss, Texas State, Western Kentucky, South Florida, and Temple.
Pretty good schools right there. So a shout out to Wyatt Wright. And Benny, we're going to stick with that theme and stick with Woodbridge, another young man doing some big things at the next level.
Michael Brewer got a big break when Wesley, went out of business. He got picked up by Shippensburg, a Division II school. He's in his 5th year, set to graduate in December. 29 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 interception. He's been a 3-year starter at Shippensburg.
There you have it. 2 guys from Woodbridge doing big things, and then Jordan Ilian from Indian River. All these guys representing the 302 doing it at the next level. And now that'll take us to our top performers. Benny, I know you've talked a lot already here the last few minutes, but let's keep it rolling because we're heading down to Laurel.
The X-Man, Xavier Limehouse, 2-sport athlete down there at Laurel. He has never been the feature back. And I asked Joey Jones after the game, I said, what made you go to Limehouse? He says, sometimes you can look in a kid's eyes and tell it's their turn. And on homecoming day, Xavier Limehouse showed out. 21 carries, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, a big day for him. And now, Mike, let's head over to Salesianum. A huge win for Sally's over the weekend, and this young man had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, BJ Lean, kind of quiet, believe it or not, for the first 2.5, 3 quarters. turned it on, finished with 200 yards on 30 carries, including a 57-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter where they were on that 30-0 run to end the game. So B.J. Lean is just having a great senior season for Salesianum, and they wouldn't be where they are without him, that's for sure.
A workhorse, giving the ball 30 times in that game, getting the job done for Salesianum. And then, Jason, we're going to head down to Seaford for our last top performer. It was a big weekend for Vincent Evans.
Yeah, I would say 13 of 22 for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's getting it done through the air. You don't see, a high school quarterback throw the ball 22 times and complete it 13. That's pretty impressive. And the 2 touchdowns, 280 yards again, almost 300 yards through the air for the Seaford offense.
And you remember coming into this season, he wasn't slated to be their quarterback. And all the receivers are gone. So, this kid, it's the whole Seaford program. Hats off to them, especially if they can finish it with a trip to the state tournament. And I think they're a problem for people in the state tournament.
Again, had a chance to do their playoff game last year, made it to that semifinal game. Looking to make some noise again this year, maybe a little bit unexpectedly, but not to Seaford. I'm sure they were ready for it. A great season for them and a big game, or a big weekend for Vincent Evans this past weekend. All right, guys, and don't forget, you can find more news and notes, updates, everything you need on DelawareLiveSports.com. A special thanks, of course, today to DMA and Brandywine for joining us, and as well as the Brandywine cheerleaders kicking us off with our first cheerleading intro of our DLS tenure here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Remember to support our sponsors and always tell them that you found their ads on Delaware Live Sports. So, guys, closing out here, top plays a few minutes away. Just closing words as we head into another week of fall sports.
Yeah, tournament time. Field hockey started today. Volleyball started today. Soccer seedings come out on Friday. That will start next week. Football's in its last 2 weeks. These are big weeks for a lot of teams as they fight for state tournament berths. Good time of the year to be in, and on Monday the winter sports practices start. So that's right around the corner. You got the wrestling guys will be on the mats. The basketball people will be on the courts. It's that fun time of year.
It's starting to feel like winter a little bit outside as well. Benny, how you feeling?
Yeah, college kids and parents. Like you said, wrestling's coming up, so I'm going to be doing double duty. Send me those updates. I'm going to have less searching time here in the next couple days. So even the high school, email either any of us, send it to our social media, 302sports.com or 302sports@gmail.com. Let us know what you're doing out there so we can tell the rest of the state, because colleges aren't real good at putting the information out anymore, and we want to let the Delaware fans know what our 302 kids are doing in college.
There you have it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Mike, closing words as we head into another week.
I don't know what happened to the summer. It's gone. It's getting totally cold out there, but I guess that means that it's crunch time, especially in football because you're outside. Jason mentioned the tournaments are starting, and you can feel it today up at Archmere with the field hockey. It was windy and cold, and it feels like winter or fall sports tournament time. So I'm excited. It's a good time to be a high school sports fan.
And it's going to be a great weekend as well. So with all that being said, that'll do it for us. For Mike Lang, Benny Mitchell, Jason Winchell, and Nick Halliday, I am Nick Alessandrini, and we're going to close things out with our top plays of the week. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, special shout out to DMA and Brandywine. You can check out all the upcoming matchups on our YouTube channel at Delaware Live Sports at 302 Sports. We'll see you. Everyone have a great weekend.
News outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.